A very warm welcome back to Stone Valley for episode 20 with me, MrSealyp. A tiny hiccup with the sound on this first bit, so I'm overlaying. This is not a test, this is not the test field anymore. I've leased two Terrados T440s, cost me just over 50 grand, 60-ish with the headers. Just over one full load, well, one and a bit loads at the BGA should cover the leasing fees for this. Initially, obviously then there's going to be hourly fees, how much over an hour we go, but these are going at a fair old lick. We should do alright out of this. I'm just thinking of the size of the field. I was thinking I might get a full load in one strip, but that's not going to be the case, is it? That being said, we're still going to make money, so that's the main point. Now, as we come down to the bottom bit here, you will see I've got the T-Rex. I've cleared the trees around my test plot down here on field 35. I've cleared the trees. We'll have a look on the map. These trees here I've cleared. I think I'm going to try and plough that out in a little while. I haven't tried doing any of the ones here. I've been told by various different people, now I can't remember which way around it was, that you can't place anything on the south part or you can't on the north. I'll have to go back through and check everything. Plus, field 6 and 17 are both ready to harvest now as well. That's going to have to wait till the morning. And I'm also in the process, if not just finished, of mowing field 8. I might do the same as I did before. That hasn't gone well. Right. Yeah, I'm going to leave it overnight and then we can mow it again and get a double hit on the... When I mow it next time, I'll mow and ted, so I'll have a double lot, or ted the whole lot. And we should be okay. So, I think I've just unloaded everything in this other one. That hasn't worked how I wanted it to. So while this is going on, I will then go and get the plough and try and plough that separate bit on the top of field 3. That's going to make life a little bit easier. It means when I'm getting everything ready, I'm fertilising and sowing and harvesting, I haven't got to muck around going around that bit on the top of the field. As far as the chaser bin goes, there have been a few comments regarding the trailer, and I did mention about going onto fields and that kind of thing. The debate still seems to be kind of raging. As many people are saying lorries do go on the fields, as many people are saying they don't. I don't know why people are getting so annoyed about it, but anyway, I will be getting a chaser bin. I am getting one. There's no point in getting one now. I did say right early on that I was probably going to get a chaser bin. I know it's a more American way, but I'm trying to think of any UK. Normally I just drive off the field and load up. Honestly, in my own personal experience driving around the UK, I don't think I've really seen or come across many chaser bins. That's not to say they're not used, but I don't recall seeing any. But I mean, that's just me. So yeah, I'm going to be looking to get one. I looked at the Hallmaster, and in all honesty, the Hallmaster works out 105 for a 70,000 litre one. The Brent Avalanche was 120 or 121 for a 56,000 litre one, so that's a bit of a no-brainer really as well. I'm just better off going for the big 70,000. When that's full, I can unload that directly into one of my 70,000 litre trailers, like for like, and it kind of works no problem at all. Yeah, so this is going to go. I'm going to have to bring the lorry down one of these side bits or something. I'm going to do something along those lines just to get this to work properly. but that's where we're at the moment. Ayrshire's, I put Guernsey, and when I looked online I'd look, and Guernsey's were the first one that came up, but Ayrshire's I think are the cows we're going for. That's what we've bought. We've got Ayrshire's in our field, so we've got Angus and Ayrshire's, and that's what I'm sticking to. Okay, it's 5:21. I'm up at the biogas plant. What I'm going to do is unload the first bit, and like I said, I think it's 100,000 from what I was told. Last time I did the test plot I only had about 40-something thousand litres anyway, so it didn't really matter. But what I have been doing, because I bought this over and then was trying to carry on with the harvest to get it done as quickly as possible so I wouldn't incur any extra fees and that kind of thing. The two sugar beet harvesters, I've been alternating them, unloading into the multi-fruit silo at the cow farm, so that it doesn't, me doing this with the lorry, I'm not holding them up, so they're not waiting to unload, I'm just unloading them straight into the silo. Then when I take the lorry back over, I can collect from the silo all the sugar beet harvesters depending on which one's full at the time. Like I say, that at least is the plan. So this is the first 140,000 litres. Like I say, I think the first 50 to 60,000 litres should pretty much cover the least of the sugar beet harvesters. We're well over that already, and I think I've already unloaded 2 or 3 loads into the silo. Actually, I should be able to check, shouldn't I? Where's our sugar beet? We have got 124,015 litres, wow, in there already. Okie dokie. Now I know I have already done sugar beet, and generally speaking I don't repeat. Obviously the general harvests you'll be repeating, that's kind of part and parcel, isn't it? Because there's only so many crop types you can do, and when you kind of roll through a few of them you are going to end up repeating yourself sometimes. But things like sugar beet, sugar cane, those kind of things I'll generally do once. It depends on the size of it. I won't be repeating this again. I did the test, and then this, the sugar cane will just be the test plot. I'm not going to do a massive field of sugar cane. That's not happening. I'm going to move that out of the way simply because it's going to be a pain to manipulate otherwise. I'm surprised actually. I know there is the kind of the auger wagon-ish for the Holmer Terra variant that's got the back that does sugar beet and potatoes. I know that's available. Well, I'm surprised when you think about all the various different modded trailers and things, and people convert silos and stuff, that no one's done an auger, a larger size auger wagon that will do sugar beet and potato. I know in the real world don't. I say they don't. I don't know. I don't know every manufacturer, and I don't know every auger wagon and every. Maybe there is a company out there that makes an auger wagon that does sugar beet and potato. I have no idea, but from what we've had in game so far, none of them seem to. Unless I'm missing one, there may have been a modded one that does. So that should hit 100% and stop. 100,000 and stop. There we go. So that's going to chug away. So the whole time that's chugging away, I can't really unload much more into that. So, like I say, that's still got some in. 38,000 litres. So what I'm going to do is carry on unloading the sugar beet harvesters into the silo, and then I'll just come and collect from the silo. Every time that starts to run low, I'll just go again. It's fairly early on in the afternoon. Well, I say early evening-ish. Maybe we're not on early evening quite yet. But we've got till midnight to unload as much as we can. Then we'll get paid at midnight, and then what we haven't unloaded we'll then continue to unload over tomorrow. Should be a nice little payout. I am back at the farm. Like I said, I have got the soybean harvest to do. The sugar beet harvest is complete on field, the bottom part of field 3. It's either stored in the silo, so that's 250,000 litres in there. I've got 100,000 litres in the digester, which is now in the process of digesting. There's about 50,000 litres in one trailer and a full 70,000 litres in the other trailer, both over there. I have been reliably informed, however, that it will take 8 game hours to process 100,000 litres. So this could take a while. I am now concerned that by leaving it in the trailers, because my silos are full, that now ties those trailers up for a huge amount of time. So I took a bit of thought about that. Now, brings me on to something else. I think I've mentioned this before. I've certainly covered it before. I'm getting a lot of comments again from people telling me that I should be, when I repaired the tractor with the spreader and the tank on the front the other day, and I disconnected them all, I've got people still telling me that I don't need to and that I can scroll through in my menu. I can't. I'm sure I said this in Holmerkra. I might have even done it on Greenwich Valley as well before I moved over to this one. I think that might only be a seasons thing, because I've got both these hooked up here now. If I go into my menu, they both need work. So if I repair my trailer like so and press my L1, R1, L2, R2, nothing is happening. I cannot scroll between those machines. I'm pretty sure it's a seasons thing. You can do it if you've got seasons on, it allows you to, but I can't. I'm trying all different button configurations. I'm doing left and right on my right stick, left and right on my D-pad, up, down, left, right, nothing. It won't let me. So I appreciate everyone, messaging me to let me know that that's obviously something I should be able to do, but it won't let me do it in the base game. If it's letting you do it in the base game, then you're incredibly lucky, but it won't let me do it. I don't know why. So there we go. Right, now, what I'm going to do is this tank on the back I'm getting rid of, because I'm finding it's causing problems with the worker turning. It doesn't like it. So old Cranky messaged and said, had I thought about just getting the drawbar, and I'd forgotten about the drawbar one, to be honest with you. I say it'd be easy for turning, it'd be easy for me turning. Regardless, I'm going to swap this tank out on the back for the drawbar. The other thing I'm going to do is come back, grab the Puma, and I'm going to plough out the end of the field by field 3 and the bottom part, because of field 3 that had sugar beets in, also needs ploughing because it had sugar beet in, so that's got to be ploughed out. Plus I'm going to look at, bearing in mind what's 6 o'clock now, I am going to buy field 29 and I'm going to cultivate that alfalfa into the ground. I'm not going to use the crop. I know I planted it, I know technically I've done the work on it, I cultivated the field, I planted the crop, but technically it is still owned by someone else. Even if I buy it, I'm still, the whole field flipping thing has its place and it works, and don't get me wrong, I'm not anti doing it. I know a lot of people have got very strong opinions on the whole field flip situation, but it's not something that I am that concerned about. I have done it before. It's a good way to make money, in all honesty, it really is. The other weird field, and I can't remember who it was that messaged and said about it, is field 31. That's a real odd one. It's not on the contracts, and it seems to be just a dormant field. 22 is the same. I've had nothing come up for field 22. All the others, I think, have all pretty much have done stuff on all of them, I think. But yeah, those two, 31 and 22, don't seem to have anything going on. Someone did say they might buy 31, cultivate the whole thing or whatever they're going to do to it, and see if it trips it back into. It might just be that's not part of the contracting system. It's just there available for you to buy. But yeah, it was kind of mentioned. Does that door shut? No, it's open. Cool. I need to bring up the bale trailer as well. Like I said, I'm not likely to do bales for a while. Let's disconnect that. There's a tiny bit of fertiliser in there, but that's not the end of the world. So we'll sell that for 16 grand, and I'm pretty sure the drawbar one is 25, so we haven't lost that much. It's not too much of a problem. This turning circle is madness. Anyway, yeah, I mean, to be fair, the drawbar will just help me a bit more than anything else. Especially when I make those turns really badly. Okay. Now this, obviously the other one was 10,500 litres. This one's only 8, but it's still going to give me plenty that I need. It has been suggested, when I said about cheap liquid fertiliser and fertilisers and seeds and stuff, to use the container mod, and there is that fantastic container mod that came out. I, however, haven't upgraded it. When it first came out, everything in it was free for some reason. It wasn't supposed to be, but it turned out everything was free. Then the update that came out said it stopped all that. Although it's still very, very cheap, I never updated it. So I've got it as a kind of backup. Being a YouTuber, when I'm doing mod reviews, when I'm doing resets on maps, when I'm doing stuff like that, it's a very handy thing to have if I do subscriber contracts. If I do a series with subscriber contracts, it's a brilliant thing to have, because if people decide to pay me in something, I can go and grab that without having to worry about government subsidy signs and stuff like that. So unfortunately, without me updating it and then losing the ability to get everything free, whilst I could get everything cheaper, so yeah, it's a bit of a catch-22 on that one. But anyway, it is what it is. So there we go. I've got my little tank on the back, so that's going to give me a better capacity on this. which I will be using. What I'm going to do now is grab the... I'll pull that into the yard later on, but I might need to use it. Actually, you know what? I am going to use it before I plough the bottom part of field 3. I will need to put some fertiliser down. I know it probably wouldn't in real life be liquid fertiliser that goes down, and hopefully when I've got a load of digestate I can use that too, so we can have a look at options for the digestate. Unfortunately, like I've said before, digestate is great if you've got enough of it. Problem is, all the spreaders, drip bars, you know, whichever way you want to go, injectors, they get through it at quite a rate. So whilst you have a huge amount of it, it goes really quickly. So yeah, unless you're constantly keeping up with that amount you've got in there, you will get through it, you know, same as anything really. So let's hook this up, and yes, before anyone mentions it, I know it's on the wrong way. Don't worry about that, it's all good. So what I'm hoping now is I had a bit of a game here at the top of field 3, the trees that need to be cleared. There were some straight up and down pines, no, not pines, firs, but there were also some real horrible ones. There were a couple of trees that took a bit of time to get down, then there were 2 of these spidery looking things, and I think the problem is the bulk of the tree was underground. So whilst as far as I'm aware I've got everything out and the stumps are all gone, potentially I might come across a stump here, or there might be a bit that I can't actually plough. So what I'm going to do is open that up, and I'm going to allow create fields. So I missed a bit there for cultivating, that's alright. Drop that down. What we should be able to do now is go directly across. Just hoping if I keep on this line I'm going to meet up the other side. I haven't gone off at a tangent. Should be okay. Tiny little bit. Like I say, just for prepping fields, and when it comes to harvest, it just means I haven't got to work my way around this bit. It was going to happen at some point, I guess. I was going to have a go at doing it. Fingers crossed I don't hit anything. Come on. So whilst I still had the T-Rex, the other thing I did was cleared a patch of land. Again, this is a fingers crossed moment. I have had a bit of a look, a bit of a kind of test on the land, and it looks okay at the moment for something I've got in mind. But directly in front of me, that plot of land there, I've taken most of the trees out. So that's the northern side. If you look at the map, being that that's north that way. Yes, can't believe I had to just check that. Yeah, so this section here I have cleared most of the trees off of. I think I've left a few around there. I have an idea for what I want to use that bit of land for. This is all working out right, actually. I goofed again yesterday. When I did my mod review, I did all the mod review, did all the recording, prepped everything. I was boiling hot, so I put the fan back on, edited the whole video, got it all ready. Then I did my intro, because the intro I do at the end, because that's the last bit I put on. Put the clip on, then did the intro. Forgot to turn the fan off, didn't I? So the intro of the mod review yesterday has got the howling wind, like I'm recording outside in a hurricane. Apologies for that. But I also did it, as you've already seen at the start of this video. But weirdly, I don't remember turning the fan off. So the rest of the recording at the start of this video was fine. It was just the very, very start bit. Unless I started to record and suddenly thought, oops, and just clicked it off, and I don't know. Just got to stop being so warm. This looks like it's going to work alright. I haven't hit a stump. I don't have to place anything here, so that's not going to be an issue. It's not like I'm trying to place anything that might come up with something saying no. The fact I can plough means I'll also be able to fertilise, cultivate and seed. I haven't decided what I'm putting in this field yet. I did think about doing another big corn harvest maybe. Seeing as how a lot of corn is produced in Illinois. Other states are also available. Right, that's that bit done. So this will now go over to field 3. I need to. This is another reason why I had a smaller tractor. I've just suddenly remembered, because I had 2 of these running, didn't I? I could put one of these on the back of the Steiger, but that seems a bit excessive, doesn't it? Yeah. So this whole section here has been cleared. Have an idea for what I want to do. It will involve a little bit of landscaping and stuff. I have also done a bit of landscaping around the water container here. That was all grass, and I thought to myself, well, if I was driving backwards and forwards onto that to get water regularly, that grass would get kind of flattened down, it'd get a bit muddy and boggy. Plus it's water, so it'd get a bit waterlogged, so I just did a little bit of, you know how it is, just a little bit of fiddling around. So, everything's okay. Ashes are all looking good, the Angus are looking good, they're okay for feed. They have been cleaned out, but they may need cleaning out again. This is going to need prepping, but it is going to need fertilising first. And I do need to get rid of this bale trailer. So, oh yeah, the other thing I need to do. This is going to look horrendous for a moment, but not to worry. I do it every single time. Let's go to field 29. Let's buy it. Scary times. 90,000 left in the bank. Let's get that cultivated. Welcome aboard this big bud tour of central Illinois. To our left, field 6 with soybean. Field 7, canola, which I'm thinking about buying. To our right, field 17, also soybean, ready for harvest. John Deere coming up on us. Have to move out of the way. Can't get past. Coming up on our right now, we've got a lovely case harvester. I think it's a 7240 or an 8240. Whoops, I'm going to replace that pole. And on our left, we come up on field 8. The field that I said in the previous episode I had cut, but I don't think I showed it. It has been cut. That will then regrow. I will cut and ted that tomorrow, and that will be a load of hay to be stored and then probably sold as well. I think I have too much. And then the main central farm, what I've been referring to as Jarrett's farm, just on the left. Ahead of us, field 29, which we've just purchased, and we are going to be doing some work on. We are bringing it back out the Conservation Reserve Programme. Ready for crop use again. Now I know a few people are going to be, I know a few people did comment to say I should just take the crop off it, I should use the alfalfa. In all honesty, the time it will take to do that, I'm just better off doing this. So let's get it done. That's what I'm thinking more in terms of fields like 31 and 22 for buying a big field up. Oh, there's this one here as well, directly across there. That's another one that I could possibly buy. So 7, and there are a few that aren't part of the contracting system, which are the next ones I would buy, because obviously the ones that are in the contracting system are there I can make money from. If I buy them, then technically I'm still making money from them anyway, aren't I? So, you know, swings and roundabouts. But I'll get this done. What it should do, because I'm cultivating a crop in, technically... Oh, it's fully fertilised anyway, so it's irrelevant. Doesn't matter. Oh, that's rather handy then. Oh no, it's not though, is it? Oh, blimey. So if I do get a... If it does drop back into the contracting system and I get one to sow it, that's fine. But, because I've already done the fertilising jobs on it, until it's harvested again, there'll be no fertilising jobs available. Field 10 seems to have dropped off the map a little bit, off the radar. It hasn't really done anything for a little while. Let's have another look onto the contracting system and see what's available. Oh, I've got a fertilising contract. Huh? When did I accept that? I've got a few actually. Yeah, looking down there, Field 11's not on there, nor's field 10, but I think they're both growing. So that could be why. Anyway, I'll see you in a little while. This is done. I need to get the bottom of field 3 fertilised and then ploughed. And then what? Probably go through the night. I'm going to do the harvest on field 17 and 6 in the morning. I'm not doing that tonight. I could rush through it, but then it's started getting dark, and recording and stuff in the dark never comes across particularly well. So we'll leave that to the morning. The pig farm is just there, the one that I said, oh, is there a pig farm on the map? It's just there. So yeah, potentially I'm thinking sheep are easier, obviously, but just thinking, if I did sheep, would they eat alfalfa? That probably would have been a good idea, wouldn't it? Anyway, we can always do alfalfa at another time. Oh, I've got my own grass field as well. There's other ways around it. Last strip on field 29. When I get to the end, I will then sell the field back, and fingers crossed that will drop back into the contract system. I'm not so sure about the whole the sugar beet processing. 100,000 litres in 8 hours. Unless I misread that, but the first 70,000 litres went in. The second 70,000 litres started to be tipped in. And then what I also did, because I had one of the harvesters had a little bit left over in it, I brought that over and tipped that into the trailer that I was already in the process of tipping. I went over and got another full 70,000 litres. So far, what I've put through it is 140,000. I'm now on the next 70,000, and I'm already a third of the way through that. And it's only been, what, 2 hours? Has it been 2 hours since I finished the harvest? Something like that. So it seems to be processing way faster than I was led to believe. I mean, we'll see at midnight. At midnight, it will tell us what we've made. So, like I say, this is nearly done. Field 3, the bottom of field 3 is now fertilised. It is ploughed. The little section on field 3 that I just ploughed, that also needed liming. That's been limed. That's been fertilised. That's good to go. And I'm in the process of knocking off as many fertilising contracts as I can. So what I'll probably do is do what I did before. When they're all done, I will do a picture of the map before, a picture of the map after, so you can see all the fields that I've fertilised, because obviously the money will have gone up. But it does mean now I can go to here, go to there, and sell that back, which means we're up to 819,000, because I sold the bale trailer we had as well, and I've just finished a contract on field 15. So little updates as I thought while we were finishing that off. So fingers crossed that will now drop back in to the contract system. It may take a little while to kind of trip itself back in, but I don't know. We will see. I'm going to take this back to the farm, give this a bit of a once over, grease all the grease circs, give it a wash, check for any broken parts, and we should be good for the evening. So, it's the morning, and as you've seen, I've been pretty busy. We're up to 1,417,000, and again, it seems like a lot of money, but it's going to go pretty quick. I've got my eye on some gear, but it's pouring me rain. So the problem we got is field 17 and field 6, which are both ready to harvest. There we go, 17 and 6. I can't touch because it's pouring with rain. As you've already seen, I've done most of the fertilising contracts, so I've just got to kind of hurry up and wait really until the rain stops. There's not very much I can do. I've already been having a look at some of my options of kit. I'm thinking now's the time to invest in a larger seeder. Now I'm still thinking what I might do is keep the one we've got. Let's whiz down it in the rain. I'm thinking we're going to keep the Great Plains, because we can use that as our planter. Because if we buy a seed, obviously that will only do the seed crops, so we could use this for doing stuff that the other one can't do, or we can use this in conjunction with a new one. So I'm thinking we'll keep this. I do also want to get a grain cart, like I already said. There are a couple of options available. I've been presented with a deal, a grain cart with something else, which again I might do. So yeah, I've got some building work I want to do over at the cow farm. There will be more cows we're going to be doing as well. So yeah, we've got a fair bit to do. But like I say, I'm just have to wait now till the rain stops. At midnight tonight, we'll get another payout from the biogas plant, because the payout last night, 300 and something thousand, wasn't all of it. It was still processing, and I think I still had another 110,000 litres in storage at that point. So there'll be another payout at midnight tonight, whatever that comes out at. I won't know until midnight. So yeah, typical though, isn't it? The rain starts. Oh, plus field 29 has not popped up on the contracts thing again, so I'm really worried that's kind of glitched out of I don't know, maybe it will. It hasn't overnight, so. But what I have done I won't be doing it in this episode. I have another plan as well. I have taken on a contract. Actually, let's have a look and see how many contracts I've done. Let's skirt past that very quickly. We are up to missions completed 51. Oh my days, what is wrong with me? We were on 102 on the previous incarnation of the map, then the storm hit and we lost all of our data. So we are now up to 153 contracts. Let me know in the description, in the comments, what are you up to on your current Let's Play, on your current map. What are you up to for missions completed? You may be somebody who doesn't do missions at all. That's fine. If you do missions, what are you up to at the moment? What's the highest you've ever done? How many have you done on any given, not in total, but on one Let's Play? What's the most you've ever got up to? I honestly had no idea I'd done that many. That is mad. But, oh yeah, so that's what I was going to show you. Harvesting field 10 is available, which is great. Harvesting field 26 is available. 29, nothing's happening. But field 11, you can see it's active. That's a harvest for potatoes on field 11, and it pays out 136 grand. Well, it won't do. It'll pay about 130 because I've borrowed equipment. That only costs 6 grand to borrow the equipment. Bear in mind, that's a potato harvester. What I am going to do, though, when I do that contract, is I'm going to lease probably 2 more. And there is method to my madness, but I'll get onto that when we get around to that. That's not going to be now, because I want the rain to stop. I want to get our harvest done, and I need to start seeding or planting in our field 3 and the bottom part of field 3, because they've just been sat for the time being doing nothing. So obviously once the harvest is done on 17 and 6, then I'll need to re-prep and plant those. So that's where we're at. Yeah, see you when the rain stops. Well, that was a wasted morning. 5 to 1 in the afternoon. The rain stopped a little while ago, so I've just been waiting for everything to dry out, and we should be good to go. The money has plummeted while I was stood there in the shed. I've bought some new stuff. We'll get into it in a minute. What I'm going to do is get the harvesters rolling on field 17. That's why I left them out, set up, ready to go. And then I'll go over and do the one on field 6. Both fields are soybeans, so we'll get that rolling. Oh, that's a good point, actually. What is soybean paying out at the moment? That's awful. You've got to be kidding me. South sell point 881 for soybean. West sell point 1270 and climbing. North 112. That's awful. May have to store it again. Oh dear. What did I do? What have I done? I might have just bought myself. I've got a 34 2100 Paralink hoe drill from Borgo and the seed tender. Oh dear. I think I've lost my mind. That is massive. Other than when it first came out and I had a look at it, I haven't used it at all. Hazard lights are on because I've got my side panel plugged in. I'm now thinking, where did I fill this up? This won't be pulling it, hasn't got enough horsepower to pull it. I think it requires 600 for the hoe drill. So this is what's going to be on the bud, but obviously the bud is in the yard. I thought it would, if this is big anyway, I might be better off transporting it like this. Oh, I must admit now, looking at it, I'm starting to doubt my own decision. Let's turn those off. Right, let's disconnect that. Disconnect that. It seemed like a good idea at the time. The salesman said it would be alright. He told me not to worry, just sign on the dotted line and your life will be complete. Oh, good grief. Now, after our mistake we made, or I made, let's say, with the sugarcane, we had 21,000 litres of sugarcane that ended up being put into storage loose, so we can actually use that as long as I can get this in and out of the yard. This has to be stored somewhere else, probably at the dairy farm. This is too big to store here. I think both my harvesters are full. Now I'm wondering, will I be able to... Oh man, I think I've got to turn it round. I don't know what I'm doing. Can I... Will that go far enough out that it will register? I don't think so. Oh man. What am I supposed to do? That's as good as it's gonna get. But can we get the thing to... Come on. Oh, that worked just a second ago. There we go. It's not pretty, but it's working. Is that working already? Oh yeah, blimey. Right, please work. What are we stuck on? Wall. Come on. I think I might have wedged it in. That doesn't seem any better. Don't even think the... I wonder if the bud will get that out. No, we're stuck. This is a good way to end the episode, isn't it? Please tell me this works. It's really easy. Actually, this fits perfectly, doesn't it? Let's be honest. The size of that cart is actually wider. It's wider than the bud. Oh man. I feel like a kid that's just bought the biggest bag of sweets from the sweet shop and now feels really sick. It seemed like a great idea. I mean, don't get me wrong, once we're out in the field it's going to be absolutely fantastic, it's going to be perfect. but I've got a funny feeling this is going to be a field side vehicle. Maybe I'm going to have to build a barn or something, or a shelter that this can just go under, and it will stay at a point where I can just collect it rather than in a yard. I think that's probably going to be the best bet. It's going to make really light work of doing fields. What is it, 30.5 is it? 30.5? I'm sure it is. So, what we're going to do now is actually put some seed in the ground. That's the plan. Oh man, I don't think the camera will go back that far, will it? Nope. Ho ho ho. You can have that one. That's today's dad joke. Could end up being the thumbnail, I'm thinking. Blimey, that is craziness. Now, what am I going to plant? I can't do corn with this because it's cedar. I haven't really done barley. I've done a few contract barley harvests for other people. Haven't really done any barley. I mean, if I want to make money, I'm going to do soybean again, or canola, I suppose, or sunflower. If I do sunflower, I need different headers for harvesting. Maybe canola again. Should we go canola? Let's do canola. Canola. So this is where this gets interesting. I'm glad I opened up that bit of the field down here. Let's switch to that, and let's see this absolute beast open up. Oh man, look at it. It is seriously cool. Oh man, look at that. That's what I always say. I've talked about loads and loads of times before about engineering, and that's just, it's like a transformer, isn't it? I mean, it's incredible. Wow. Now all I've got to do is try and line this thing up. Easier said than done. Let's go with that. And let's get some seed in the ground with our new seeder. That is incredible. And when you look at the size of the field, you look at it and you think, ah, yeah, actually, it doesn't seem so bad now it's out in the field, but wow. Let's go over the new bit. Awesome. That was a bit fiddly to get it going, but like I say, that's a learning curve. I need to think about what I'm going to do, about where I'm going to store it, and how I'm going to provide it with seed from now on. But that's not a bad thing, just means I've got to give it a bit more thought. Thing is as well, you need a lot of runoff. I'm thinking maybe when I use this, I'll use it in conjunction with the other one as well. So the other one does the headlands and then this does the bulk, you know. That's probably not a bad idea either. Just thinking, will I be able to turn this tight enough to get onto the next bit? Oh, it's not too bad, is it? Not too shabby. I'd say what would be a fantastic idea if I actually turned it on. That's even better, isn't it? Just getting to grips with the new controls, that's all. Oh man, maybe I don't feel as sick as I did. It's rather cool, isn't it? You may be outraged and disgusted at this point, but I love it. And like I said right from the start of the Let's Play, a lot of this was going to be about me trying out new things and new bits of equipment and just enjoying it, having fun, and at the end of the day picking stuff because I want to. Doesn't necessarily have to have a reason, or you know, I do often justify my reasons why I'm buying bits of kit, and sometimes I just say, you know what, I just fancied it. And sometimes you will too. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Oh man, when I started this Let's Play, this is what I had in mind. This is what I wanted to build up to. What I want to do is get the other one running as well, having both on the field at the same time. Or like I said before, one cultivating and the other one coming up behind and seeding. And if I can line that up just right, that will give me my next line absolutely perfectly. Let's raise that up. Back it up a little bit. I am over the moon with this. Apologies for driving over someone else's crop. Just a tiny little bit. Oh dear. So I'll line myself up there. Turn it on. Drop it down. This is where I said you need row shut-offs really on the seeders. But with the seeders it's not so bad because it doesn't actually put anything down on the bits you've already done. The seeders are actually pretty good. Well! Give myself enough room to turn around without hitting the... No, I'm going to hit it. No! Didn't turn tight enough. Come on, come on. That's better. Come on, turn, 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 turn. There we go. We'll get there in a minute. And breathe. And so we have come to the end of the video, of this episode at least. Top part of field 3 is done. I'm doing the bottom part of field 3, I'm putting barley in this. Field 6 and 17 are both harvested, they're now being fertilised. I haven't done anything with the soybean yet, that's going to be put away. The other thing I realised, and you've probably already commented from what I said earlier, this is a direct drill. I don't have to cultivate. There's me saying I could follow the cultivator with this, or this is a direct drill. So I don't have to cultivate first. If there's nothing else needs doing, if ploughing doesn't need doing, liming, anything like that, I can just go directly onto the field straight after harvest and go again. Which makes this even better. I think it's cool anyway. I know it's been a bit sort of jumping about today. I've had a few different things trying to get done, and I wanted to finish off, I don't know, I didn't want to show too much of me doing the sugar beet harvest because I've already done sugar beet previously on the test plot. Putting the sugar beet into the VGA is a fairly monotonous task over a long period of time. Again, I put one load in, I didn't think that people would want to see all of that. And the same with doing the contracts. I said that before, doing repetitive contracts over and again for me is how I'm going to make extra money, but for you guys, when you've seen me do it a few times, you know what I mean. So we've got the big piece of equipment, or one of the big pieces of equipment I was aiming for. Next episode, I think I'm going to be tackling the that potato harvest, because this is going to take no time at all to get my fields prepped. I can take this straight over now and I can seed on field 17 and 6 again, whereas before it was taking me half a day, if not longer, to get all my fields ready. Now the whole reason for getting this is it won't do that anymore, it won't take so long. So anyway, I hope you have enjoyed this episode. I hope you're still enjoying the series. If you have, give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free, and if you want to share this video, then please be my guest, whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.